Every year, millions of students dream of becoming a doctor. But why do only a tiny fraction of them actually succeed? The math is brutal. Every year, over 2 million aspirants enter the arena to fight for roughly 100,000 available seats. For many, the ultimate prize is securing admission into a premier medical college. On exam day, that abstraction turns into an overwhelming reality of crowded boards and anxious crowds looking for their seating arrangements. In this environment, raw effort often fails. Many fall victim to the illusion of competence, where repeatedly reading a textbook creates a dangerous sense of false security. When you stare at a highlighted page, your brain recognizes the visual pattern. You feel like you know the material. But in the exam hall, without those visual cues, your mind goes completely blank. Brute forcing the syllabus is an inefficient strategy. The differentiator between a lost year and a medical seat is cognitive efficiency. To optimize your approach, look at the scoring distribution. Out of 720 total marks, biology accounts for a massive 360. Chemistry and physics split the remaining half. Top scorers tackle biology first, because 80 to 90% of those questions are extracted directly from the lines of the NCERT textbook. Spending hundreds of hours on dense external reference materials for this section is mathematically inefficient. The core text holds the highest yield. The second layer of this blueprint relies on previous year questions. Analyzing past exams allows you to map specific conceptual patterns, rather than blindly guessing what might appear. By mastering the primary source material and decoding historical testing patterns, you establish the baseline strategy used by every top percentile scorer. You have to abandon passive reading. Glancing over notes does not build the long-term neural pathways required for instant retrieval under pressure. The alternative is active recall, the deliberate process of closing the book and forcing your brain to pull information from memory. Multiply that with spaced repetition, testing yourself at increasing intervals. 1 day, 3 days, 7 days, locks data into permanent memory. However, you cannot simply memorize your way through the complex calculations and derivations found in physics and chemistry. For those subjects, the most effective decoding tool is the Feynman technique, named for the Nobel laureate who mastered complex topics by stripping away jargon. The mechanism is straightforward. Explain the concept aloud in plain English, as if teaching a 12-year-old. When you stumble, you instantly expose the gaps in your own understanding. True learning is rarely comfortable. It requires the active, deliberate struggle of extracting information from your own mind. There is a persistent myth that success requires unbroken 12-hour study sessions. In reality, human focus requires strategic boundaries to prevent cognitive burnout. For high-volume memorization, structure your time using Pomodoro blocks, 25 minutes of intense, uninterrupted focus, followed by a strict 5-minute period of rest. For heavy problem-solving sessions, extend that block. 50 minutes of continuous work with a 10-minute break closely simulates the pressure of actual exam conditions. Eventually, you move to the testing phase. But taking weekly mock exams yields zero value if you do not weaponize your mistakes. To do that, maintain an error notebook. Structure it in 3 columns. Document the missed question, isolate the root cause, and write out the correct formula. High scorers do not fear wrong answers. They log them, analyze them, and use systematic error tracking to ensure a mistake is never repeated. Even with a highly optimized cognitive system, certain behavioral traps can easily derail your entire score. Collecting 15 different reference books is fatal when compared to the deep mastery of one core primary source. Similarly, consuming endless motivational videos often becomes a toxic loop, a form of procrastination disguised as productivity that prevents deep work. Then there is the emotional trap, skipping the review of a mock test simply because you fear facing a low score. Dramatic, last-minute marathon study sessions will consistently lose to quiet, measured, daily execution. Ultimately, the NEET exam tests your academic knowledge, but it rigorously filters for discipline, consistency, and a highly structured strategy. The students who prepare their minds wisely today will truly earn the right to wear the white coat tomorrow.